March 24th, 1987. My name is Alfred Mason, and today I killed someone. It was an accident, of course. As much as hitting someone with your car could be an accident. As far as I was concerned, the day started off like any other. Keys jingling as they hit the dashboard. And that damned white noise coming from a broken cassette tape. And then a thud against my windshield. Aside from the force, I didn't slow until I saw a rolling figure in my rear view. By the time my vehicle came to a stop, the life had already left him. The blood gushing from open wounds began making pods and mosaics against the cracked pavement. His face became distorted, and I watched in wonder as the glow left his skin. It was an accident, of course, but in this moment, death fascinated me. It wasn't for another few moments that I pivoted on my heels and proceeded back to my vehicle, gravel crunching beneath my feet. I pulled my car forward, darting to the end of that street, leaving behind the body in the road, and muttering to myself that it was only an accident. August 12th, 1987. My name is Alfred Mason, and today I killed my best friend. He couldn't seem to understand why I left that body in the road so many months ago. I attempted to explain that he looked peaceful there, and how I couldn't move him. Of course, this only spiked questions of why I didn't call for help. This I did not have an answer for. My friend told me many times that authorities were looking for me, but I couldn't find a reason to care. It was only an accident. It wasn't until he stated that I needed help that I stabbed him in the back. They never really tell you how people die. In movies, they just fall over dead. In the real world, when you stab somebody, they leak to death. That's exactly what my friend did. He sat in his basement sepulcher and slowly bled out for 6 hours. I suppose a kitchen knife didn't do so much damage, and this caused more length to the demise. The carpet began to pool with crimson as the TV static reflected against his once lively face. The person I once called friend was now nothing but a corpse. October 3rd, 1987. My name is Alfred Mason, and today I killed my girlfriend. I should say my ex-girlfriend, as it has just now occurred to me that she was in an attempt to leave. She was running around and muttering nonsense under her breath. Something about myself turning into a madman. It wasn't until I approached her in an attempt to speak that I felt her hostility. She raced on about how she couldn't be with a murderer anymore, and she blamed me of these so-called crimes. What she didn't understand is that there was a reason behind these events. The first was pure accident. I'm not responsible for a man standing in the street. And the death of my best friend was purely justified by his hostile demeanor. He called me a madman, and now my love would do the same. At first she pushed me away, told me to stay away from her. After a few exchanges of the words insane and crazy, I had to put a bullet between her eyes. She fell back, much like a tree does in a storm. The blood only oozed from the hole in her forehead, and she began to distort from the person I once loved. I forgot who she was. Unlike my last two accidents, I didn't stay very long. This time, I began to think it wasn't an accident. December 20th, 1987. I consider myself to be quite sentimental. I realize when I've lost, and I sure won't pretend like I've had a victory in that moment. I've remained incognito for some time, and the only evidence of my crimes are withheld in these letters and in my mind. I've decided I don't want my mind to be a piece of this evidence. I've tasted my fill of insanity, and now I will go on. I've written down these events to reflect the wrongdoings of my companions, and now I have reflected on my own. Sincerely, Alfred Mason.